Guys, I am back. I am back. It is Mark from the Sports Corner, and I am back just in time before the baseball season starts. I know the Cubs and the Dodgers played. Okay, there's sirens going by. I live in a big city. I know the Cubs and Dodgers played last week, but the majority of games are going to be played this Thursday. And we're here to talk about my favorite 10 teams, and we're going to go over their win total prediction. Use whatever sports book you guys have. I use all of them as well. We're going to go over 10 of my favorite teams to bet on before the season starts. And by the way, if you want a quick, great bet that I see live right now, you could bet on the Dodgers to get the 10 wins first before any other team. And right now they're 2-0. They swept the Cubs in Japan. So they already got a head start. They're 2-0. And right now you could get it at 220. I got it at 220 in DraftKings. So if you could find that bet anywhere, go find it. And I'd put some money on the Dodgers to get to 10 wins first. But let's get it going with my favorite 10 teams to bet on. I did great in the NFL season, winning over 55% of my bets, which is a great marker in sports betting. So hopefully I do just as good this season in the MLB. So let's get it going. My favorite teams, 10 teams, win margins. And the first two teams we're going to talk about the two teams in the AL East. That is the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Let's start with the Boston Red Sox. Their win total prediction is 86.5 wins. So in the offseason, they signed Alex Bregman from my Houston Astros. Yes, I'm a Houston Astros fan. Don't kill me for it. They signed Alex Bregman, great signing. They traded for Garrett Crochet, and they also signed Walker Buehler. They also signed Chapman, and they also got Patrick Sandoval. So great. Those are all stand-up great signings by the Red Sox, okay? Especially Alex Bregman, because Devers was a black hole on defense playing third base. So having him go to the DH right now, hopefully he doesn't come back and play third base, is a great move by the Red Sox. They did lose Nick Pivetta. He was a decent pitcher, better than decent. And they did lose Tyler O'Neill. Not so bad. They do get Bregman. And they lost Kelly Jansen, one of their bullpen guys, but he was not so great. And they lost Chris Martin, another bullpen guy. So I think the guys coming in are way better than the guys leaving. They have a nice, solid now starting pitching core, and now their defense is just all around better. Their second baseman is going to be their rookie, which is really great. And now they have Bregman at third base, and they have Trevor Story at shortstop. So their infield is already 10 times better than it was last year. And I love the additions everywhere, and I like the additions on the bullpen and also the starting pitching. Crochet and Walker Buehler, if they can take a step forward, both of them, because Garrett, he had a inning limit on his pitching. If he could go farther than he did last year in innings, but give him the same production like last year, it's a home run. And if Walker Buehler can have a bounce back year, that's a great signing. So I like the over 86.5 for the Red Sox. Okay, I think this is a great price. I actually think I like them a lot to actually win the AL East. We'll touch back on that soon. We'll go over my teams who I like later. And so give me the Red Sox to go over 86.5. I like them at 89 wins. So give me the over in the 86.5 for the Boston Red Sox. And now let's talk about the New York Yankees, the team with the most insufferable fan base in all of baseball. The team that they think they're going to win it every single year, but they don't. But let's talk about the New York Yankees. They're over, their games total is 89.5. I'm going to tell you right now, give me the under on that. I will bet my mortgage, I will bet my rent, whatever, my car, my two cars. I will bet the under on this team total 89.5. Let's go over the Yankees here real quick, okay? The Yankees, they lost Juan Soto, arguably, not arguably, he's a top 3 player in this league. They lose Gleyber Torres. Not too bad, but he was a solid player, okay? Goes to the Tigers. They lost Nestor Cortez and Clay Holmes. I guarantee they want Cortez and Holmes back on their team now. And they did lose Tommy Cannell, whatever. That's not that big of a loss, okay? So that's not so great, those losses. But they also lost Garrett Cole. He is out for the year for Tommy John surgery. They do Stanton, the outfielder, or DH, or whatever he's going to play, he's out too. He's going to be out for the year with both his elbow injuries. And their star rookie, Luis Gil, he is going to be out probably to the All-Star game. So who do they have at starting pitching now? Okay, they did bring in Max Fried, whatever you want to call it. Great signing, okay? Hopefully he stays more healthy, but good signing because they need starting pitching, okay? Then they went to go get Carlos Carrasco off from the free agent heap that's left over. That guy is not so great, okay? So their rotation is going to be, their ace is going to be Max Fried, then it's going to be Rondon, and then Warren, and then, Stroman, then Warren, and then Carlos Carrasco. Number 3, number 4, number 5, no thank you. They're gonna hope those 3 guys, the number 3, number 4, number 5 pitcher, can get to their great bullpen. And they do have a great bullpen, okay? They went to go trade for Devin Williams in that Cortez trade. Really great trade. Devin Williams is arguably the best closer in the league. So great trade right there. They also let's talk about the 2 offensive guys they did trade for, Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt. Cody Bellinger is going to be great. He's going to give him a really good defense. I mean, he's not the Cody Bellinger from the MVP years. He'll give him like 25, probably 30 home runs between there. You'd be lucky if he gives you 100 RBIs. So, I think it's a good signing, not a great signing. And also Paul Goldschmidt, I'm tired of hearing people say like, hey, Paul Goldie could still do something. He could still do something. The short porch in the Yankee Stadium. I'm sorry, I don't see it. You'll probably get good defense from him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just does a tad better than Rizzo. I think age is going to catch up to him. It's going to really show when he's on the Yankees. So all that being said, they also have a lot of bullpen guys that are hurt coming into the season. So the starting pitching is kind of decimated. I do not like the number 3, number 4, number 5 guy. Who's going to protect Judge? Who? They don't have Soto anymore. You're going to count on Goldie, Bellinger and Jazz Chisholm, whatever you say his name. You're going to those guys to protect Aaron Judge? I'm sorry. I think this lineup is also going to underperform. The same thing, the starting pitching. So I think there's all a bunch of players besides Judge in that bullpen. The bullpen is their best thing about their team, but I don't think their bullpen is going to bring them to 90 wins. They need 90 wins to get over this over. So give me the under 89.5 in the Yankees. And that's one of my locks. I just think with all the injuries and the guys who left, I just don't think that the Yankees could get to 90 wins. They can still maybe get a wild card. I'm not sure about that either, but give me under 89.5 for sure. Now let's talk about the Minnesota Twins. What have the Twins did this offseason? Absolutely nothing. You would think a team... Okay, you guys gotta go. Is the problem to all my chaos. This is my problem. These guys, they cause all the problems. Pancake and Waffle. These guys are big troublemakers. They cause all my problems when I'm trying to do videos. Time to go. Here we go. Bye-bye. See you later. Now let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. What have the Minnesota Vikings done this offseason? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, they brought in a couple guys here. Nothing to move the needle at all. They are solely dependent on injured guys who are injured their whole careers. They're hoping they just not get injured anymore. Just hopefully they stay healthy all year long because this team is pitiful. Their win total prediction is 84.5, and I like the under 84.5 by a mile. So they are dependent on Brian Buxton, who is coming healthy this season, so that's good, and Royce Lewis to stay healthy. Royce Lewis is not healthy coming in today's season. So those are the two guys they're depending to stay healthy, and those guys can't stay healthy whatsoever. Other than that, their big move was they signed Harrison Bader and Ty France, the same Ty France who was let go by the pitiful offense St. Louis Mariners, but they signed him to be their starting first baseman. I guess they're hoping he has a bounce back year. Harrison Bader, I don't know if he moves the needle for anybody. What is he gonna bring you? He's gonna be the backup. He could play, all the outfield positions. He brings a lot of energy, but that guy does not move the needle at all. They did bring in a good left-handed reliever, and Danny Colombi, if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He's actually pretty solid. But other than that, it's not looking too good. They lost Carlos Santana, Max Kepler. There's some great offensive guys they lost, good offensive guys they lost, and Kyle Farmer. He was a decent pitcher. But the guys who left hurts them way more than the guys they gained. So it looks like their supposedly awful lineup is going to be Carlos Correa at shortstop, Royce Lewis at third, but he's not going to be starting at third in the beginning of the season. He's hurt. They're really also depending on Matt Wallner to have a 25-30 home run year this year. He's one of their better prospects. They're hoping he just smashes the ball this year, but that's about it. I don't know what else to look. When any opposing team comes and plays the Minnesota Twins, or the Minnesota Twins comes and play opposing team, they're not scared of the Twins. If I'm a pitcher for any opposing team, even the White Sox, I would say, who on this Minnesota Twins offense, who scares me? Because the guys who are the best players are hurt all the time. So their offense is not scary whatsoever. Their best asset is their bullpen. But let's start with the starting pitching. They have Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, Chris Paddock, and Simon Woods Richardson, who, did pretty good last year, I believe, as a rookie. But, they're Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez, they could be a really good 1-2 punch. Joe Ryan needs to take a step forward. Chris Paddock, he needs to take a step forward as well. And Simon Woods Richardson, they all need to take step forwards. Pablo Lopez is the only really good, guy, has a lot of innings underneath them. So their starting five is not too bad, but then two or three of those guys need to step it up and take the step forward. But their bullpen, Griffin Jacks and Duran, those guys are lights out. They're one of the better closer setup men in the whole league. So that is what they're going to do. They need their starting pitchers to keep them in the game, hold it to 4 runs to 3 runs each game, and get it to their closer and their setup man. So that's what they need. But other than that, I don't see the Twins. I think the Twins are going to be just above the White Sox in this division. So I give me the under 84.5. I think this is an easy under. The Twins, I think, are going to be so terrible come the All-Star break that they're going to be trading some pieces, whatever pieces they have, and start rebuilding. So give me the under for the Minnesota Twins. Now, staying in the AL, let's talk about the AL West, and more particular, the Athletics and the Astros, and we'll touch on the Rangers just a bit as well. I love what the Athletics have done. Let's start with the Athletics. Their over-under team total is 71.5 wins, and I love the over in this. The Athletics, they did some great offseason moves. They signed Luis Severino. They were forced to sign these guys, basically. So he's a great pickup. Got him from the Mets. They traded for Jeffrey Springs from Tampa. Jeffrey Springs, solid, good. He'll be the number 2 pitcher. They need he needs to stay healthy. He could pitch 1 full season, but also a great trade by them. They went to go sign the Rangers bullpen guy, Jose Leclerc. Great. He was a closer for the Rangers for some time. His ERA blew up, so if Athletics can control that ERA and bring it down, it's a great signing by them. They got a solid third base signing by Gio Urshela. They'd be lucky to get 20 home runs for him. If he gets 20 home runs, that's actually great. He's really good defense, so 20 home runs would look like a really awesome, underrated signing. And they gave Brett Rooker a 5-year extension. That guy's awesome. He can knock the leather off the ball. So great extension there. But the whole thing about the Athletics, they have a great underrated young guys. And if all these guys take a step forward, you're looking at a really potent offense. They have Shea Langiris, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, great young catcher. That guy's a great power hitter. At first baseman, they have Tyler Soderstrom, another great young guy. They're all great young guys, okay? Zach Geloff at second base. They got Gio at third. Jacob Wilson playing shortstop. I believe he's one of their best prospects. He's playing shortstop. They got Miguel Adujar playing left field. JJ Bade, another great center fielder. He can hit it out the park. It got Lawrence Butler. They signed him to an extension. That guy could be a potential 30 home run, 30 stolen base kind of guy. So if he could just produce like he did when he came back from the minors, when they sent him down, he came back up, that'd be one hell of a deal. And they got Brent Rooker. Like I said, that guy is awesome. He's one of the better young hitters in the league. That lineup could be potentially dangerous if those young guys all take a step forward and they could just knock the ball, especially in that ballpark. By the way, they're playing in a AAA ballpark, and they can, that's why I like the over. They can hit home runs out of that ballpark easily because it's a little bit smaller. So with that lineup and that small field, man, I love that over. Let's just touch on their bullpen. They got a really good bullpen. They have a great young closer in Mason Miller. He kind of tailed off towards the end there, but it was his first full big league season as a closer. So I'm not surprised he was falling down. He was trending down a little bit towards the end of the season. But if he could build this stat out this year, great. That guy is nasty stuff. So he's a great closer, and he's gonna be their closer for years to come. And like I said, they have Tyler Ferguson and TJ McFarland, great guys, and they signed Jose Leclerc, who could be a potential setup man. Maybe help the closing situation when Mason Miller has days off. So great up and down. I like some of the rest of their starting pitcher in JP Spears and Bido and Spence. He'll be the fifth guy. JP Spears, he can get you a lot of innings. He's been there for a few years now. So I like the Athletics. It's one of my locks to go over 71.5 wins. This team has so much potential. I wouldn't be surprised if they get to 80 wins. So give me the over and the win total prediction with the Athletics. Now let's talk about my Houston Astros. Yes, I'm a huge Astros fan. Don't kill me. I didn't cheat in 2017. Some of the players did. I have nothing to do with it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to stop rooting for them, okay? I'm a fan. I love the Astros. I didn't cheat, so don't kill me for it, okay? So let's talk about the Houston Astros. Their win prediction is 87.5 wins. Now, a lot of people would say 87.5 wins. There's nowhere near they're getting towards that, okay? They lost Kyle Tucker, they traded him, and they lost Alex Bregman to the Boston Red Sox. I know what everybody's saying. Well, there goes two guys they absolutely need. Well, let's break it down just a bit, okay? So they brought in Christian Walker, arguably the best defensive first baseman in all of baseball. He's also he's probably going to get, I would pencil him in for 30 home runs or more with the Houston Astros and that the Crawford boxes, that short left field. So I think that's going to play in Christian Walker's hands. They brought in Isaac Padres, the third baseman, and Michael Wazitsky. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Their starting pitcher, and Cam Smith, who are now our number one prospect for the trade of Kyle Tucker. So they traded Kyle Tucker for Isaac Padres, Cam Smith, and Michael Wazitsky, okay? Hopefully I'm saying that right. So they traded for those three guys, and all three of those guys are going to start for the Astros. Padres is going to play third base. Cam Smith is now looking like he's going to be the starting right fielder. Now, he's a natural third baseman, but it looks like he's going to be a starting right fielder for the Astros. He's been just killing in spring training. I know spring training really doesn't count for much, but to see him hitting major league hitting, I like to see that. And Michael Wazitsky, the Astros are a pitching farm. If they could get a hold of him and they make him into a great pitcher and has an ERA in the threes, that's a great fifth starter. So those are great acquisitions. Like I said, they lost Bregman, Tucker. They did lose Verlander, but Verlander, it looks like Father Time is catching up with them. He signed with the San Francisco Giants, and they traded Ryan Presley to the Cubs. But Ryan Presley, any Astros fan will tell you, he was falling off the year last year. It might have been because Harder's the closer, but Presley did not look the same as a setup man. He did fall off just a bit. And they did lose Kikuchi. He's now the starting pitcher for the Angels. What are you going to do? So all that being said, I think this pitching staff could be one of the better pitching staffs in the American League. The Astros have one of the better 1-2 punches in Valdez and Hunter Brown. I am not saying that because I'm a homer. Valdez is a workhorse. He's always in the top 5 for innings pitched. He's always there in the top 10 in Cy Young votes. The guy is a hammer. He could get a little emotional sometimes, and you can hit the long ball on him because he gets too emotional. But that guy is one of the better pitchers in the AL. If the Astros don't re-sign him, you heard it here, he'll get north of $200 million, okay? He is a workhorse. He'll get you 180 innings to 200 innings. So that guy is a workhorse. He's an ace. Hunter Brown is our future ace. After he added the splitter to his repertoire pitching, he was unhittable. Okay, he is great. He is a great up and comer. He's going to be the Astros' future ace. So that's a great 1-2 punch. There's Spencer Arrighetti. He is a nasty guy. He can strike out a bunch of pitchers. He needs to do, control a little bit more. He was great in the second half of baseball. So if he could keep those same numbers in the second half, that is a great number 3, number 4 pitcher for the Astros. Then their other pitcher, Ronel Blanco, he came out of nowhere. The guy throws a great changeup. And if he could have the same numbers he had last year, but build up the stamina, I mean, you're talking just really great 3 to 4 pitchers right there. Really great. That's a rotation that anybody would kill for. And the number 5th guy is Michael Wazinski for the guy they traded for in the Kyle Tucker trade. That guy, if the Astros could have the pitching staff keep him controlled, his pitches, and he could stay around the 3 ERA, that is a top 5 pitchers 1 through 5. That is a hell of a pitching staff right there. Okay, let's briefly talk about the blue bullpen. Hader needs to do a little bit better. They signed him to a lot of money. They need him to bring that ERA down a lot, and they need him to the home run ball. Okay, he was giving up way too home runs. Hader does a lot better on odd years for some reason, so maybe this year he'll do better because it's an odd year in his contract, whatever the hell it is, but he needs to do better this year. Also, Brian Abreu, great setup man. That guy I thought was going to be the future closer for the Astros. He would be a closer on a lot of other teams. Great setup man. That guy has heat. Great setup man. Taylor Scott, guy from South Africa, came out of nowhere. One of the best relievers for the Astros, for the league, for the American League in general. So if he could just produce what he did there, really great. Brian King, great signing by them. And they have a lot of guys in the bullpen that a lot of people are going to not know, but they have a solid, great bullpen. And when it comes to their lineup, I know they lost Kyle Tucker. Like I said, I know they lost Bregman, but you know what? They still got some good players, okay? You're going to have Jose Altuve. He's going to be playing left field now. I think he should be playing second base, but, I'm not, I'm not coaching the Astros, but he'll be in left field. He's still one of the best hitting second baseman / left fielders in all of baseball, okay? The guy, he's a future Hall of Famer. Then you have Yanyer Diaz, one of the best hitting catchers in all of baseball, and he's young. He's controlled. Great catcher. He had, I believe, over 90 RBIs or around 90 RBIs last year. He hit 299. He almost hit over 300. They have second base is still up in the air. It's either going to be Rogers, the old who played second base for the Colorado Rockies for a few years, or it's going to be Dubon, or it's going to be maybe they'll move Altuve back and pit one of the Astros minor leaguers, maybe have him play left field. It's a mixed bag. Second base is still up in the air. Jeremy Pena, solid shortstop, good defensively, average hitter, but he needs to step it up. Christian Walker, Alvarez, one of the best hitters in all of baseball for power and average. And then it's a mixed bag. Jake Myers cannot hit the ball very well. He'll probably be the 8th hitter, but the guy's great center fielder. He was in the running of Golden Glove. And they have Cam Smith, the right fielder, the Astros' #1 prospect. He is hitting the leather off the ball in spring training. If he keeps that same energy, that is really great. So with all that, I think that people are sleeping on the Astros just because they lost Kyle Tucker and they lost Bregman. But I think this pitching staff, all 5 guys, could be something special. And they have McCullers and Luis Garcia. Those guys are other stars who are waiting in the wings to come back and they're waiting for to get healthy and then come back to the starting rotation. So the rotation, I think, is going to be the strongest part about the Astros, and I think they're going to surprise people with the whole pitching staff, including the bullpen. So the over-under is 87.5 wins, and I'm taking the over 87.5 wins. I can see them get 88, 89 wins, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make a trader here or there to get someone to bring them in to help the Astros out and win the AL West. So give me the over 87.5 wins with the Astros. And I want to talk about the Rangers briefly here. They are the rival of the Houston Astros of late. They're in the same division, I know, but it's been pretty heated, in the last couple of years between these two teams. Everybody's on them. Everybody's taking the over. And when I look at this team, I sit here and say, like, why is everybody so confident in the Rangers just to now win over 90 wins and just run away with the division? Okay, did they bring in some really good hitters? They did. Bringing in Jock Peterson, really great. Jake Berger, I think, is a really great under the radar signing. I've always liked him. He's going to get you like 25 to 35 home runs in between that range. So really great. Jock Peterson, he can get you between 25 and 30 home runs as well. So really great. They re-signed Nathan Eovaldi, great. They got a new catcher and Kyle Hagasaki, really good defender. And they went to go sign Chris Martin. So their offense looks really great. They have one of the best, if no injuries happen, they have one of their better lineups in all of baseball. Just starting from the catcher, they have Jonah Heim, Jake Berger at first, Marcus Stroman, one of the best second basemen, Josh Jung, Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford, Evan Carter, Garcia, and Jock Peterson. They probably want to see some more from Langford and Carter since they were their best prospects. So if those guys take a step up, this is a hell of a lineup. Unbelievable. So great hitting lineup. But let's talk about the Rangers pitching staff. Is anybody forgetting about this and their bullpen? They cleared out basically the whole bullpen and brought in all these new guys, okay? They lost Kirby Yates, who was one of the best closers, bullpen guys in all of baseball, okay? They lost Jose Leclerc. I know he was wild for them, but he was their closer, and he gave them some good innings sometimes. They lost David Robertson. He's gone. He's a bit older, but he's a still solid, great bullpen guy, okay? And they lost Max Scherzer, okay? So I know Max Scherzer was hurt all the time, but he's still a good veteran presence in there, and he can still give it. So let's talk about their pitching, okay? They have Nathan Eovaldi. Good. He's a solid guy. He's always dependable. Then their second guy is Jacob deGrom. Now, is Jacob deGrom really great? Yes. We all know Jacob deGrom is great. When was the last time that guy played one full season? Hell, I can't remember. Rookie year, since he won the Cy Young probably, that guy has not played one full season since the Nixon administration, okay? So I don't know why everybody's on this pitching staff. They have John Gray. John Gray's still hurt, okay? Tyler Mao, that guy move it for you, and Cody Bradford. Who else is this pitching staff? I don't even know. This pitching staff is not scary whatsoever. They went to go get Chris Martin, and he's now their closer. Is he one of the better closers, one of the top closers in this league? No. Okay, so who else is their best? Mark Church, Jacob Webb, Sean Armstrong, Luke Jackson, Danny Robert. I'm sorry. There's too many ifs. There's too many ifs with this pitching staff, and that's why I do not like the Rangers to go. Their win prediction is 85.5. And I think they're going to win 84 to 85, 86. So I know it's just right there. But people predicting them to go 90, 95 wins. I saw one of the MLB analysts saying that he wouldn't be surprised they get to 95 wins with this pitching staff. If DeGrom goes out, who's your number two guy? John Gray? That guy doesn't put fear in nobody, okay? And this bullpen still needs to be figured out. They'll find out who's their, more reliable guys. But I'm sorry, this pitching staff, from the starters to the bullpen, there's too many ifs, too many hopes, too many prayers to hope they stay healthy and somebody steps up. So with that, I like it to either them to just go over 85.5 or under 8.5. I'm just saying, don't put all your chips in the middle, and just because they have a great offense that they're going to go over 85.5 wins, okay? This pitching staff is not great. It's too much depending on hope. So give me probably the under, but a small bet with the Rangers. And now let's move to the National League, okay? And let's start with the NL Central. With a lot of these teams, I don't know who's going to pull away. I do think the Cubs are going to win the division. I don't know what the Milwaukee Brewers are doing. They have all these young guys who are on cheap contracts. You would have thought that they would go and get somebody, either the pitching staff, or they would go get a great hitter, or just a solid or better hitter. No, they sat on their hands. I know they just signed Jose Quintina to be in the starting rotation just last week, but come on, Brewers, you need to sign somebody who could help and protect, Christian Yelich, all the young guys. They're just banking on all the young guys to take a step forward. I think that's a bad idea. I think they should have went to go get a hitter, but what are you going to do? But I still think the Cubs win that division. But unlike the Milwaukee Brewers, the Pittsburgh Pirates, what did they do? They would go and sign nobody big. They have Paul Skeens on a cheap rookie contract. This is when you go out and get some players to, help you win, help the kid help him get in the playoffs, get a winning experience. No, they don't really do anything significant. Him and Jared Jones, another one who's on a rookie contract, and they're not helping these young guys out by giving them some power to help them out. They bring back pretty much everybody. They signed Tommy Pham, and they have Spencer Horwitz, but Spencer Horwitz is hurt, and Jared Jones is coming in hurt too. But just like the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh, Pirates, they do nothing in the offseason to help their teams and help the young guys, gain some winning experience. So, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Brewers, I'm just disappointing in their offseason. My best betting play here is with the St. Louis Cardinals. And let's talk about the St. Louis Cardinals, okay? The Cardinals win total prediction is 76.5. And I like the under 76.5. Now, what have the Cardinals done in the offseason? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, okay? But they lost Paul Goldschmidt, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and Andrew Kittredge, okay? They lost all those guys. Now, when you look at the Cardinals, don't forget, they were talking about trading Nolan Arenado as well in the offseason. So I think because they are just looking to rebuild, have young guys, that I think come the All-Star break, the Cardinals are going to trade a lot of their big pieces. I think they will trade Sonny Gray. I think they will trade Nolan Arenado, and I think they would maybe probably trade Wilson Contreras as well, since he could play both first base and catcher. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to trade a lot of their major pieces, and then they're going to go down the tanker. I think the Cardinals, I can see them 72, 73 wins. Like I said, they didn't sign nobody significance. The young, good shortstop, Mason Wynn, has wrist soreness going into the new season. But, there's nobody who scares you in this lineup besides Nolan Arenado. Okay, Wilson Contreras, he's not too bad. I'll give him that. Other than that, there's not too good. Now, their bullpen is really good. Jojo Romero is probably the setup man to Ryan Helsley. Helsley is one of the best closers in the game. So I think with him and Jojo Romero, you have a good 1-2 punch there. But other than that, I think they're going to trade off players. I truly do. I think the Cubs and the Brewers are going to be 1 and 2 the best in this division. And the Cardinals are going to realize, hey, we can't make the playoffs this year. Let's trade who we got. Let's trade the veterans, and let's get some young cats in here. I think that's what's going to happen. So I think the under 76.5 wins for the Cardinals is a lock. Now let's talk about possibly the best division in baseball, the NL East. And the two teams I want to talk about is the Atlanta Braves and the Miami Marlins. These two teams, I believe, are the best win total prediction bets that we can make. And let's start with the Braves. The Braves, they're predicted to win 93.5 wins. And let's talk about the players they brought in. They brought in Profar, good year. He had a career year last year with the Padres. Brian De La Cruz, he can get you 20, 25 home runs. He's probably going to be there until Acuna comes back. And they got Nick Allen at shortstop and Aaron Bummer, who's a left-handed reliever. Now, there's some okay pieces right there bringing in, but I think they lost more than they gained. They lost Max Fried, the starting pitcher. He went to the New York Yankees. They lost Charlie Morton. He went to the Baltimore Orioles. So right there, two of your guys in rotation are gone. AJ Minter, who was a big piece in their bullpen, he's gone. Jorge Soler, he's with the Angels, I believe. He's gone. Roman Laureano, he could play some good defense, kind of a journeyman, but he's a solid piece, not too terrible. And Whit Merrifield, which he's probably at the tail end of his career. But Max Fried, Charlie Morton, AJ Minter, Jorge Soler, great. Those are all great players, good players, and they're all gone. So my problem with the Braves is they're predicted to go 93.5 wins. Now let's talk about their starting rotation. They have a lot of good names here, a lot of great names, but some ifs, okay? Chris Sale is their number one, their ace, okay? Really great year last year, amazing year last year, okay? He put it all together, but can he stay healthy? That's always a thing with Chris Sale, okay? If he can stay healthy, great, good for him. Okay, Spencer Strider is not going to be in this rotation. He's coming to hurt. He had major surgery, so they're just waiting for him to come back. Not sure when he does. Their second guy in line will be Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez was lights out last year. He had an ERA, I believe, under 2 or just at 2. So he's a good, solid number 2 pitcher. Can he produce the same thing he did last year? Probably not. He's probably a great pitcher, but I can see him coming down to earth a bit. So I feel like his numbers will be in the mid 2s to 3 ERA. And then you have some young guys. Spencer Swellenback. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. They need him to make the step forward, make a leap, so they can have the solidify their rotation. But that's about it after that. Okay, Grant Holmes, does he do anything for you? Not at all. So they need, in particular, Chris Sale and Lopez to really come back and produce what they did last year, and they need Spencer Swellenback to take a leap forward and make that leap and make just produce more than he did last year. So that rotation, it's top heavy. I don't know if I like it so much, And then let's talk about their bullpen. They're bringing Bummer, solid, not great. But then, their closer, Iglesias, he's a good closer, he's a bit wild, but for the most part, he's a really good closer. Pierce Johnson is probably the setup man, but other than that, Dylan Lee, Hector Neris, I don't like Hector Neris. I'm an Astros fan. Hector Neris, he's been getting worse every year as he's gotten older, okay? So it looks like he may make the team. I'm not really liking this bullpen, especially in the middle of it. If they could get the ball to Iglesias and Pierce Johnson, great job. But I can see this bullpen, especially the middle of it, the middle innings, that is, I can see them letting some runs in. So I think that this team is still a solid, great team. Their offense is the best thing about them. Sean Murphy at catcher, but he is coming in hurt a bit. They have Matt Olson, Ozzie at second base, Austin Riley. He needs to take a step. He had a little bit of a down year last year. Profar, Michael Harris, and Ozuna. They have a really great offense, but it's the pitching for me. I can see this team winning 90 wins for sure, but 94, 95 wins, I'm not there, especially since this division got much harder. The Mets, the Phillies, even the Washington Nationals got a bit stronger in the offseason. So I see some more losses there in their own division. So I think under 93.5 is a solid bet for the Braves. They can still win 90 wins, 91 wins, possibly win the division, but definitely a wild card. So give me the under 93.5 wins with the Atlanta Braves. And I want to talk about the Miami Marlins because this team has the potential to have the worst offense in MLB history since the dead ball era. I mean, who in this offense scares you? There's not one hitter. I can't think of one. If you think one hitter scares you or scares another team, please tell me in the comments. Their pitching staff is the best thing about them, and they might trade some guys in that pitching staff to get more young guys because they're clearly rebuilding. They brought in one guy in the free agency, Cal Quantrill. The guys lost his touch. He could get you some innings, but he's nothing but a 5th, 4th starter, if that. But he'll be there for the Marlins. They lost Luzardo and Berger to free agency, or they traded them. They traded Berger. So they traded some of their good guys. But the hitting, who scares you on this hitting team? Nick Fortes, whatever you say his name, Matt Mervis. Matt Mervis was one of the best potential prospects in the Cubs system, and they traded him. They're disappointed, and they said, all right, get out of here. Maybe you could do something with the Marlins. So if the Marlins could do something with him and maybe, bring back some of that magic he had in the AAA system, the minor leagues, maybe he could surprise all of us. but I'm not holding my breath on that. Otto Lopez at second base, Connor Norby, whatever you say his name, he has the potential to do something great. He's something to watch out for. He's coming in a little hurt into this season, so keep an eye out for that. Xavier Edwards, solid shortstop, nothing to brag about. Kyle Stowers, maybe he could do something good, some power numbers. He might be one of their best power hitters. Derek Hill at center field, Sanchez at right field, but he's also hurt coming into the new season, and Jonah Bride. Jonah Bride might be their best power hitter, but none of these guys scare nobody. This is potentially a AAA offense, okay? So nobody is scared of this team. The best thing about is the rotation. They have Sandy. Sandy is the, ex-Cy Young winner. The guy's one of the better pitchers in the league when he's healthy, but I'm staying away from him in fantasy, by the way. He's gonna have hardly any wins. He's gonna get no run support. It's gonna be him just trying to keep it under 2 runs, 3 runs, so hopefully he gets a win. He'll get you Ks, but that's about it. He won't get you wins. Their second pitcher is Ryan Weathers, but he's also hurt coming into this season. Edward Cabrera, he's hurt. If those two guys were healthy, that's actually a great 1-2-3 punch. Kyle Cantrell, like I said, new signing. He'll get you some innings, but he'll get knocked around. I'm expecting a 4 ERA with him. And they have Max Meyer, one of their best potential prospects. He was hurt a year ago or 2 years ago, but now he's back in the rotation, and he could possibly, have a good bounce back, step forward kind of year. But other than that, you're not scared of nobody. Their closers, Calvin Foucher. They're relieving. Their setup man is Anthony Bender, possible. Nobody in this bullpen scares you either. I mean, Calvin is not a bad closer, but he doesn't scare anybody. So the whole pitching staff, especially starting pitchers, are their best asset. But the hitting has potential to be the worst in MLB. We're talking about straight garbage. So their win total prediction is 63.5. Give me the under in that. I see it 60 wins, 61s, because I think come All-Star break, they're going to trade the last big names they have left on this team and be even worse. And they're taking a page out of the Chicago White Sox, and they're just hope for the, a top number 1, number 2 pick. Hell, I think the White Sox have a better record than them, but they're rebuilding. They're just going to lose, and they're probably going to trade off whatever players they can. So give me the under the 63.5 when it comes to the Miami Marlins. Let's talk about arguably the best division. It rivals the NL East. That's the NL West. And the two teams, I definitely want to talk about the Dodgers, and I want to talk about the Padres as well. But let's start with the Dodgers. The Dodgers have historically possibly the best lineup in MLB history. I'm talking about not just the offense, but also the pitching staff. This is one hell of a team. This is the classic Yankees from the late 1990s and the early 2000s when they went on that run for all those titles, okay? Let's talk about the Dodgers' free agent acquisitions and all the things they did in the free agency, okay? Because it's unbelievable. Okay, so let's start off with the players they lost to free agency. That'll be much quicker. They lost Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty, and Gavin Lux. Jack Flaherty, really great starter. Walker Buehler, he was having up and down. He left, but he might do wonders for the Boston Red Sox. But now let's talk about all the players they signed, re-signed, and all that, okay, and gave extensions to. It's unbelievable, okay? They already had a great team. So this is who they brought in. They brought in one of the better Japan pitchers, and Roki Sasaki. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He has potential to be real great. He did wonders in the Japanese leagues. So if he could, bring that to the MLB, more unbelievable. They bring in the other Cy Young left-handed pitcher in Blake Snell, unbelievable. They bring in two of the best, bullpen guys, and Tanner Scott. He's one of the better closers in the league. And Kirby Yates. Go see what Kirby Yates did last year. Unbelievable. They bring in Teoscar Hernandez. Great power hitter. You guys saw his numbers last year. They re-signed him. They brought in Hee-Sung Kim. He's an infielder, good, solid player. They brought in outfielder Michael Conforto. That guy's gonna be the bomb of the order. I mean, I love to have that problem. They re-signed Blake Treinen, the Clayton Kershaw, Enrique Hernandez, and they signed Tyler Eidman to a 5-year extension. So this is unbelievable. They have and Ohtani may go back to the pitching staff. So this is unbelievable. So let's talk about the whole team, okay? Including now the rest of the guys, okay? Let's start with the hitting. One of the better hitting catchers in the league in Will Smith. Great catcher. One of the best first basemen, arguably the best first baseman in baseball, Freddie Freeman. Look what he did to the Yankees. Great solid second baseman in Tommy Edman. Great power hitter, Max Muncy. The guy will get you 30, 35 home runs every year. Mookie Betts, the guy is unbelievable. One of the best shortstops in the league. Michael Conforto playing left field. Andy Page is playing center field. He's one of their better young guys. And then Hernandez playing right field. He'll get you 30 to 40 home runs every year. And arguably the best player in baseball, Shohei Ohtani. He went 50-50 last year. The guy can now probably, in a few months or a couple months, he could go into the rotation. He's unbelievable. He needs no explanation. That's the starting depth chart. It's just unbelievable. This could be historic, rivaling even those Yankee teams, okay? Even possibly being better than them, okay? So let's talk about their starting rotation. Yo Amato, the other guy from Japan, really great. Ohtani could be in that rotation. Then Blake Snell. Blake Snell, your second guy in a Cy Young winner, and Ohtani possibly your third guy. Unbelievable. Tyler Glanso, people forget about him. If he stays another full healthy season, he could potentially get you 200 strikeouts. And then the new guy, the guy who is a master in Japan, Roki. So this rotation, this rotation has, just like their offense, the potential to be a historic pitching staff. It is unbelievable. So what can you do against this team? It's just unbelievable. This pitching staff and this hitting, it's just unreal. Let's talk about their bullpen. Kirby Yates is right now penciled in as their setup man. Blake Treinen, really great. Michael Kopech, he's in the IL, but when he came from the White Sox, when he looked great last year with the Dodgers, he'll be just there, helping, strike out guys left and right. He'll give them some solid innings. Like it's nothing. Alex Viese, whatever I say his name, another great bullpen guy. Evan Phillips, and their closer Tanner Scott. So this bullpen is also the best bullpen in all baseball. So they have the best hitting team. They're the best pitching team and the best bullpen. All around, everywhere. It just, there's not a hole on this team. There really isn't. Even defensive wise, you don't really see it anywhere. So their win prediction is 103 wins and a half. 103 wins and a half. Give me the over easy. This is one of my locks right here. I can see them winning 110 games. No BS. I don't know how you stop this team. They're going to win this division. Good luck, anybody. The NL West, really good teams, but I have them win this division easily and going over 103 wins. So take that to the bank easily. Another team I think is a really good bet in the NL West, that is the San Diego Padres. I want to talk about the Padres because it looks like they gave it their all last year and they didn't go nowhere, and it looks like they may want to sell and rebuild. So they really didn't bring in anybody. They brought in Nick Pivetta, solid pitcher. He'll be in their rotation. And they brought in Jason Hayward. I don't know why they brought in him. He's a good defender. He's getting up in age, mid to upper 30s, but he can't hit for his life dependent on it. They lost a lot of good players. They lost Profar. They lost Ha-Seong Kim, good defender. Tanner Scott, Donovan Solonen. They lost Kyle Higasaki, David Peralta, and Martin Perez. So they lost a ton of guys. Unbelievable. But like I said, I think they're going to sell a lot of guys come All-Star break. Here's the guys in the offseason who's been rumored to be traded. Dylan Cease, Michael King. Both those guys have been on traded rumors because they're both coming up, especially Dylan Cease is coming up for free agency, and if they're going to sign him, he's going to cost a lot of money. So those guys have been on the trading block, okay? Luis Arias, their first baseman, guy hits for 300 every single year. He is on the trading block as well. So all these guys who are on this team, even Jake Cronenworth I've seen on the trading block. They all have been on the trade or potential being traded. So I think that's what's going to happen. They know the Dodgers are going to run away this division. And, I think they gave it all last year. And I think they're going to trade a lot of these pieces off and they're going to do a slight rebuild. If they keep all these players, they have a good, solid team that they'll probably play number 2 to the Dodgers. They could get in the second place in a potential wild card. They're going to be fighting the Arizona Diamondbacks for that. But I think that if they keep all these guys, they have a good shot of getting second place. Let's talk about the rotation. Like I said, Dylan Cease, Michael King, good 1-2 punch there. Really great. Yu Darvish, the guy starting the league on the injury list. That's not what you want to see since he's up there in age. He's mid or upper 30s now. Not what you want to see. But, good signing by bringing Nick Pivetta. That's actually a good 3 guys right there. If Yu Darvish comes back and they don't trade anybody, actually good 4 starters. And then the 5th starter, Randy Vasquez, or it could be somebody else. So that's a solid rotation if they don't trade nobody. And then they have a really great closer in Suarez. Jason Adams will be their setup man. Wandy Peralta, another good bullpen guy, and Estrada. Those guys are really good bullpen guys. So, they have a solid bullpen if they don't trade anybody. And they really have a good hitting team. Diaz at catcher, Reyes. Like I said, the guy hits for average like nobody's business. Jace Cronenworth, good young second baseman. Manny Machado, if he can stay healthy, play a full season, 30-40 home run guy. Same thing with Fernando Tatis Jr. If he can stay healthy and stay out of trouble, 30-40 home run kind of guy. So you have 2 really good players right there. They need a bounce back from Xander Bogaerts. He fell like a stone last year. He did not play up to his potential. He didn't play up to that contract he has. And then, Jackson Merrill, the young rookie who came out of nowhere, 20 home runs or 25 home runs and over 80 RBIs. You get a full season with him now, potential 30, 100 RBI kind of player. So Jackson Merrill, really great. You really one of the best young hitters in all of baseball. And they all have Gavin Sheets or Yuli Gurrier at DH. So they have a great hitting team, but all these talks that they don't want to sign these guys to big major contracts. And I think come All-Star break, they're going to see the Dodgers just way out there in the horizon, taking first place by a mile. And I think they're just going to sell the guys who are coming up for free agency and getting great prospects for them. So their win total prediction for the Padres is 85.5 wins. Give me the under on that. I could see around 82, 83 wins because I think they're going to sell some pieces off, but they still got enough still got enough pieces to keep it competitive, but I don't think they get to 86 wins. So give me the under 85.5 when it comes to the Padres. So guys, there you have it. Those are my 10 favorite teams to bet on. 10 favorite teams to bet on before the majority of the season starts this Thursday coming up. I believe these are the best locks to bet in. I'm going to set them up from 1 to 10, who are 1 being I think are the best. The top 5 being the teams I think are the locks to lock in for the win total prediction. And the bottom 5, I still like better. I'm not as confident as I am with the top 5. I'll put that in a list for you. You'll see it in the graphics right here, in this space right here. But guys, I am back. I'm glad. I love baseball. It's a long season. I'm in 3 fantasy leagues, so I'll be paying attention to it left and right. I'll be doing more, day-by-day bets, that is, on my shorts or my TikTok. So keep an eye out for that. And, I'll make some picks too come the NBA playoffs. So with that, guys, I am back. MLB season. Tell me who you like. Tell me who are your favorite bets. Keep an eye on my video. I'm going to give my prediction, my breakdown, and break down each division and who I think is going to be first all the way to last. Keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a quick video. But thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way, helps me out. And I will always see you in the next one.